This new moon in Taurus on May 19th is a very positive, very uplifting new moon and might be my favorite because of kind of how extreme but positive it is. Get excited for what will be your new focus for much of the next upcoming year. If you're excited to dive into what exactly we can expect from this beautiful new moon in Taurus, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you are always up to date with what the stars have in store for you. If you're new here, hello, I am Maren. I'm happy to have you all here learning about this new moon in Taurus. I am a Western astrologer using the tropical zodiac, and if you're interested in private readings with me, those will be linked below. If you're also interested in more content from me, I have daily, weekly horoscopes and also courses at my passes link below where you can find all that content. And I also make videos every month for each rising sign. So if you're curious about where this is showing up in your chart in more detail, check out my May rising sign forecast where I have a video for your sign. However, in this video, we're first going to explain what this new moon means, why it means that, what's happening astrologically. Then I will explain what is happening for each of the signs, including yours. So this new moon in Taurus is happening on May 19th, 2023 at 8:54 a.m. Pacific or 11:54 a.m. Eastern time. There is a hell of a lot going on in Taurus here, which makes it pretty simple, but also pretty extreme. Because the sun and the moon are together in Taurus, that's normal. Every new moon has the sun and moon together, but this new moon has Uranus, Mercury, Jupiter, and the North Node all in Taurus. That is extremely sudden, abundant, disruptive, communicative, like very invigorating Taurus energy, where I don't think I've ever seen a new moon with this much in one sign. I mean, I think like 2 years ago, there was a new moon in Pisces where it had a lot going on in Pisces, but like this is a lot in Taurus. So people with Taurus placements in later degrees, specifically around 28 degrees where this is happening, you guys are gonna feel this strongly. You are definitely gonna see that this is showing up in your life, but this will be showing up in everyone's lives really notably, so wait to the end to find out how it's happening for you. This has the sun and the moon at 28 degrees of Taurus, which is at the very end of the sign. And new moons are always new beginnings, and the sign of Taurus deals with the foundations of our life in very tangible earthly ways, such as money, finances, natural resources, agriculture. Usually with Taurus involved things, there's something around like natural disasters or agriculture, farming, finances, that side of things. It's at the very end of the sign, but it is still within 10 degrees of Uranus, which is the planet of chaos and instability. So even though this is a new moon in Taurus, which is the most stable, fixed, like earth sign of them all, this is conjunct Uranus, which shows earthquakes being like shaken up. I would not be surprised if there's notable earthquakes or natural disasters around this time, but it doesn't look net challenging, so I don't think it looks like anything tragic. It just looks like very disruptive natural disasters. This new beginning in all of our lives will be very sudden, very shocking, and very startling. It does not look bad by any means. It just looks like our intention will be blindsided in a new direction in a very fun, kind of cool way. Now, with this happening at 28 degrees, it is at the very end of Taurus, which means that it is in the final decan, the final third. This decan is associated with the Seven of Pentacles tarot card, which funny enough is called the Lord of Failure because it is associated with someone being unhappy with what they've created. So this is the kind of thing where the card itself, literally in my notes for what I think about these tarot cards and things people have said, I keep like a running document of notes about tarot cards because I am the human computer. I'm not the intuitive tarot card. I have to look at my notes. I have to fucking look at my notes. Every single video I have to look at the notes before kill me. But for this one, I specifically have the note of wait and see what the world shows you externally. So there's a wait and see quality to this where this is not showing that things literally have like completely failed, but it's the Lord of Failure where it's like, don't do anything right now, wait and see. So even though we're on new moons, I recommend manifesting, do your fucking rituals, or if you're like me, you just like work your ass off even more and you try to do something that can bloom later in the cycle. This looks like a card where it's like, wait and see what reality is gonna show you, because it's gonna blindside you and may make you feel like your work, like, I'm not saying your work is a failure, no. But you may feel like because of this new moon that your work was a failure because life is now giving you another option that is easier and more direct and more impressive. That's the kind of thing. Like your work, okay, it was a failure. But the cool thing is coming up because you did that, so now you have a chance to do something new and cooler and more impressive. It's literally outside of your control. TLDR, this new moon, even with the intentions to grow something in the Taurus house in your chart, the implications of this new moon will be out of your control because they will be surprising and blindsiding. I'm not saying don't manifest or take actions. I'm not saying this is bad. This is great. Jupiter, North Node, it looks amazing. It just looks like it's coming out of your blind spot and the opportunity will not be linear. So Mercury, the North Node, and Jupiter are all together in early Taurus. Mercury's communication, Jupiter is wisdom, growth, abundance, and the North Node amplifies. I have a full video on the North and the South Node I just uploaded a few days ago, aka like 2 months ago almost now when this is coming out. That video on the nodes talks about how the North Node amplifies. It is insatiable, it is big, it is impressive. It does not mean good, but Jupiter means good. So Mercury, North Node, Jupiter together shows extremely amplified, important, impressive news and communication coming our way. We're likely going to be getting news or the idea around something that's very disruptive and very kind of like, wow, that opportunity is opening up, but that is the catalyst that leads to this new moon being something that we could not have done on our own. I feel like I'm literally like channeling right now, just some sort of energy preemptively from this new moon, because timing wise, I literally know what's happening in my chart. I think I talked about it in my year ahead video. If this happens, if this fucking happens, I think stuff is already gonna be out. Things are already gonna be out that I've been doing around before this new moon. You're gonna know what I'm talking about by this video, I think. Anyway, the new moon will be sextile Neptune. This is great for the opportunity of spiritual upleveling. Sextiles are not that powerful. They are 60-degree aspects that are unlockable but not obvious. This shows, this dog is fucking snoring as loud as hell. This is my friend's dog. I'm in my friend's right now. Wait, listen. Okay, it's cute, whatever, we're not disrupting him. It's a one-eyed pug named Juju. Sextiling Neptune is great for spiritual opportunity and up-leveling, that we trust and we see the higher purpose. And this new moon is sextile Mars, which shows that we're taking action and we are focusing, we're hauling ass, even if the results right now came out of nowhere. With Mars trine Neptune, therefore, this is very spiritually aligned. Now, I'm not a fan of Mars still in Cancer at 29 degrees. I'm not a fan of Mars in Cancer in general, just with fucking anyone or anything. It's just like indirect babying kind of thing. I will say that. But with Mars in Cancer, trine Neptune and Pisces, we might be a little bit babied or a little bit babying others. At least we're being aligned in our spiritual purpose. We are actually with good intention around this. Jupiter is also squaring Pluto at 3 degrees Taurus, 0 degrees Aquarius. This is one of the background transits for this entire year pretty much, but it shows that we are being positively amplified to transform. This is an aspect of tension, but in a positive light, where something around the situation that we're now in is asking us to push us to change into a more mature, authentic, more aligned version of ourselves. This is an overall amazing new moon. I would use this and I would do this in a way where it doesn't necessarily mean that you have flexibility. So I'm gonna manifest around this time. I'm gonna be doing things. I'm gonna be launching things. However, I know that the outcome and what happens, not gonna be what I have in mind. So I'm open to being surprised. If you already have thoughts around this new moon, let me know down below and let me know your feelings and your vibe around it before we get into now what is happening for each of the signs. So for transits about specific areas of life, we do need to look at rising signs, so this will be based on rising signs. So for Taurus risings, this is happening in your first house of self, so congrats, major spotlight on you. Looks like you're releasing, amplifying, doing something of your own actions that is a big deal and gets you noticed and is really liberating and extremely important and very eye-opening for you. If you are a Gemini rising, this is happening in your 12th house, which is around mental health, addictions, afflictions, and spiritual practice. So it looks like you were having a positive breakthrough around your mental health, around things you've struggled with internally, or around your spiritual practice, which is positive but kept to yourself. If you are a Cancer rising, this is happening in your 11th house of networking, groups, and friends. So you might be having a new beginning with a group acceptance, a social dynamic, or out of nowhere you have ties with another group of people that is quite different than your usual. If you are a Leo rising, this is happening in your 10th house of career, which pretty simply shows a disruptive but positive and surprising new beginning in your career. If you are a Virgo rising, this will be happening in your 9th house of foreign travel, higher education, or religion. So you could be having an eye-opening acceptance into a education, college, university program. You could be randomly, spontaneously traveling and having it be extremely life-changing, or you might have a breakthrough around your religion or philosophical beliefs that feels like a new beginning. If you're a Libra rising, this will be in your 8th house of investing, finances, and losses. So it doesn't mean that you're losing money or anything, but it could be that something around an investment or an asset is suddenly growing and it feels like it's other people's money. So this doesn't really show losses actually, unless the only loss I could see making sense here is if you literally are waiting for someone to die because you're going to get a lot of money from it. That's the only way this could play out. And for some people, that's a reality if they're waiting for some distant relative or just their mom, or that I'm not going to go there. But like something is happening that's a new beginning suddenly with investments, inheritance, finances. It looks positive. It's growing financially for you, but it's an asset. It's not your income. It's assets, investments. If you are a Scorpio rising, this is in your 7th house of committed relationships and partnerships. If you're waiting on a proposal, if you're waiting on anything around that, looks like you could definitely be getting that around this time, big deal happening for you in a sudden news around a relationship, the dynamic is growing. If you are a, what's next? Sagittarius Rising. This is in your 6th house of physical health, coworkers, and pets. So something new around coworkers, you could be hiring a team, you could be getting a huge surprise from your coworkers. Could be that you have an impressive new beginning in your physical health, like you get a diagnosis for something that is a relief, or you have a change in your physical diet, exercise routine, or you get a new pet and it's a big positive deal, something like that. If you are a Capricorn Rising, this is in your 5th house of dating, creativity, and kids. So it could be that you have a huge creative release or new beginning. Could be that you have a new beginning in romantic relationships. This isn't serious. This is more like the spark or the intimacy or like the sex romantic side, or a new beginning with kids if you're looking to have kids. If you are an Aquarius Rising, this is in your 4th house of home, family, and property, so you could suddenly be moving somewhere new or having a new beginning around where you live. If you are a Pisces Rising, this is in your 3rd house of communication or information and content, so you could be starting something new with posting a social media or with content. And if you are an Aries Rising, this is happening in your 2nd house of income or money, so you could be suddenly starting a new way of making money or a new income stream. So if you have any thoughts or predictions around how this is showing up in your chart, feel free to let me know down below, as I'm really excited for this new moon in my 5th house. I am excited for the creative things coming out in this time. Hope that you enjoy this, hope that this is exciting to you, and I will see you in the next one.
There is one thing